eligibility. If convicted, she could face up to $10,000 in fines and 3.5 years in prison for each charge. Pewaukee seniors are launching an effort to recall trustee Bob Rohde because of a new fee for EMS services. TMJ4's Rebecca Klopp with the details.
Each property gets assigned an ESE fee for how often that type of property gets a response from the fire department. They say they're being charged 4 times the rate as a normal homeowner. They say it's miscalculated because they're lumping senior apartments in with assisted living or nursing homes.
People living in senior apartments are over the age of 55, but many are still working or newly retired. Village President Jeff Knutson says he's arranged a group to re-examine the fee ahead of the 2025 budget. Well, wondering what's going on 894? A major closure is likely affecting your ride.
Just a reminder that 894 westbound is closed right now until 5:30 Monday morning. Why? Well, the DOT's project manager, Eric Hansen, says
the scheduled work is to mill off the existing pavement and repave it with new asphalt. And the goal here is to repave all 3 lanes of 894 in one direction for the full 3-mile length of the project.
We do have the alternate routes on WTMJ.com, but basically you should use the rest of the system like 4394 and 94. All the work is weather dependent. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
And artwork coinciding with the presidential election and the International Day of Democracy this past week. Hagerty Museum of Art at Marquette University has this special indoor-outdoor exhibit on view for its 40th anniversary.
It's called SOS Color Code. Museum Director John McKinnon tells what's on tap. There's 3 flags outside.
On one side of all 3 flags is a dot. The other side is a dash. So when it goes back and forth, it kind of does the Morse code of SOS.
And a mural indoors.
It has color-changing lights and a wall painting, and it's really wild what it does because you almost have to ruin the illusion to understand that it's all in color theory and it's not a video projection.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News. Time is 8:03.
Vince Vitrano here, letting you know there's still time to get your house painted before the snow flies with 2-day painting. 2-day painting not only beautifies your home's exterior, but protects it as well. Cracked or missing caulk, rotten wood, you do not want to go into the winter months without getting that fixed. And right now, the fall special is on. 15% off your 2-day painting job. This is the crew we brought into our home to rave reviews. Tell them Vinny sent you. 2daypainting.com, 262-706-1135, 2daypainting.com.
Hi everyone, Jeff Levering here, and when we moved into our home 10 years ago, we knew the time had come to replace our roof. That came sooner than we thought with the storms during the spring. So we called the pros at Ridgetop Exteriors, and they did more than just live up to their motto, trusted, local, and affordable. Within just a few weeks, we had our new roof picked and completed. Their team treated us just like family, and the customer service was a real home run. Give Ridgetop Exteriors a call and book your appointment today to ensure your project gets completed before the next big storm.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Packers quarterback Sean Clifford elevated from the practice squad to the active roster in advance of today's game against the Titans. Packers are planning to start Malik Willis at quarterback for the second consecutive week as Jordan Love continues to recover from a knee injury.
Definitely feeling a lot better for when the injury happened in Brazil. So just taking it day by day, trying to see how it feels every day, and come here, keep doing the treatment, keep doing the rehab, and keep filling it out. But it's feeling better.
Our coverage of the Packers and Titans begins with Green Bay game day this morning at 9 o'clock. And the Brewers logged just 2 hits in a 5-0 shutout loss to the Diamondbacks. Milwaukee has dropped 3 straight after clinching the NL Central Division on Wednesday. With 7 games to play, the Brewers trailed the Phillies and Dodgers by 4 games for one of the top 2 seeds in the National League playoff race. Coverage of today's game begins with Brewers warm-up at noon. Taking a look at your roads with a WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic update. Rain definitely slowing some things down here. Watch out for some puddling on the roads. As for travel times, pretty consistent here. No real big slowdowns. However, rain and lane closures, not a great combination. 43 southbound, Brown Deer to downtown. It's about a 3-minute delay. Things just a little bit slower because of the rain, not so much due to volume. Otherwise, if you're on the Rock Freeway southbound from the Hale out to Highway 164, that's about a 2-minute delay.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Rain today, an occasional downpour. Might even hear a clap of thunder and see a flash of lightning. Ultimately, a high of 72. May not feel like it. Rain tapers off tonight, gradually clearing and breezy with a low of 55. Partly cloudy and cool on Monday with a high of 68. Slight chance of rain again on Tuesday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and a high of 68. Right now in Madison, it is 64 and rainy. Green Bay, 65. Waukesha, 64 and storms. And it's 66 at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, approaching 8:08.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
Ooh, it's a rainy Sunday morning. But thank heaven, Greg, that we finally got some rain, because it's been 2 months, I think, that it seems like all I do is water the lawn, the shrubs, and everything else around the house.
Yeah, the crispiness, right? It just we don't like the crispiness of the lawn at this time of the year. This is usually the time of year you get that little bit of dew on the lawn in the morning, and it's an indication that some of that ground sort of water is going to help keep your lawn green. That hasn't even really happened so much yet. So it's a welcome sight. I know there's some soccer tournaments and whatever happening outside that might be compromised, but certainly could use the rain. Maybe make it a lazy Sunday morning.
Well, I know you mentioned soccer tournaments because one of your daughters does play soccer. And you are like a girl dad, right?
Oh, yeah. 2 daughters, one in 4th grade, one in 2nd grade.
So this time of the year, have you started doing the Halloween decorations yet?
So there is a push in the Matzik household to have this done. My wife and I sometimes I have to govern my wife as well. I'm okay for fall decorations at this point, but we don't need to go to Halloween until we get to October. Does that make sense?
Well, I don't know, because a lot of people are getting into the Halloween spirit. And, it's that time of year. America's favorite horror films are coming back to the theater, and nobody knows horror better than Ryan Turek. He is the Vice President of Feature Film Development for Blumhouse. And Ryan, I think a lot of people are excited because this isn't going to just be one film, one night only. You've got a series of films over the next couple of weeks that are going to be right here in Milwaukee at AMC Theaters, starting with a film that I know a lot of people are obsessed about, and that's Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. We're very excited. Paranormal Activity is celebrating its 15th anniversary this year. Can you believe that?
I can't.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is you're doing just one night only re-release on exactly 15 years after the film first showed.
Yeah, and it kicks off Wednesday, September 25th. And as you mentioned, that is just one of 6 movies that are going to be rolling out from the 25th to October 30th, followed by Lights Out and Insidious Chapter 2 and Happy Death Day, Black Phone, and Five Nights at Freddy's. We're very excited because these are all fans of ours. It gives everybody who's a fan of Blumhouse and a fan of scary movies the opportunity to either revisit these in theaters or see them for the first time in theaters surrounded by like-minded horror fans.
Let's talk a little bit about Paranormal Activity. What makes that film so popular?
That movie, I think, really connected with audiences because it was just so grounded. It felt like it could happen to you, even though it delves into supernatural and goes into very outlandish supernatural heights. It's one of those movies that really plays on the things that go bump in the night. And I think everybody can connect to that, whether you're sleeping in bed or falling asleep on the couch watching a movie. You hear the door creak, you hear someone walking around the kitchen. I think that just gives everybody goosebumps. And I think Paranormal Activity just did that really well by kind of playing in that found footage medium, playing it as these people could be your neighbors. They could be right next door, and kind of playing through security footage. I think everybody connected with that, and it's just made it very terrifying.
Well, AMC's Blumfest going on. It's for 2024, of course. 5 more films in the series. And is there anything else that fans can expect if they come to one of these screenings?
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be all sorts of surprises at each of these screenings. There'll be special messages from the talent involved in the film. You'll get messages from Jason Blum. You can also sign up for special giveaway to get an event poster. I'm sure there'll also be special sneak previews. It's going to be a Halloween event. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So if we want to learn more, find out exactly where around Milwaukee these films are going to be shown, where do we go?
Yeah, go to amctheaters.com, go to their events page. There's a splashy Blumfest page on there, and that'll break down our discounted tickets and also provide you details on what the where the closest AMC theater is near you that's playing this. And
Ryan, I'm going to ask you, any sneak peeks at films that are maybe not released yet, but we should be watching for?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we just dropped a Wolfman teaser trailer recently, so you never know. Never know what you're going to get.
Ryan Turek, Vice President of Feature Film Development for Blumhouse. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, thanks for having me on. I love talking scary movies with you.
It is a short show today. We've got Green Bay Game Day getting underway at 9 o'clock, but we've got a lot we're going to get in this hour. We've got a new iPhone that was released on Friday, and we're going to tell you what you need to know. Teddy Nichol from the Milwaukee Business Journal is going to break down who made the most money from the RNC. We've got a consumer expert who's warning about a fake PayPal invoice. Greg Matzik is here in the newsroom. Nate's here pushing buttons, and we're going to talk Brewers and Packers with Greg in just 2 minutes, right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. It is 8:13, and we have 67 degrees on WTMJ.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
When you work with us, you'll know what you're going to get. And most importantly, you'll know exactly what you're going to pay us to list and sell your home. Talk to any Benefit Realty agent and ask about our commission. You will always get the same answer. You may find that others aren't ready to be as straightforward as we are right off the bat. They may try to meet with you first, and from there, you'll probably have to haggle your commission. And if you're lucky, you might be able to get them to reduce their commission to what we charge. But who wants that? Benefit Realty is going to make this easy for you, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. And we even one-up it from there. We cap our commission, so that no matter what size property you're selling for the listing side of your sale, your savings will be substantial. And if you're selling a luxury portfolio kind of home, substantial is an understatement. And finally, if you're not happy at any time with the service you're getting, we won't hold you to the term of your contract. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
We've we've got Greg Matzik here, and he is talking sports. And yesterday, the Brewers lost, I should say.
Yeah, they've not won since they clinched the division on Wednesday, so maybe a little bit of a hangover effect, literally and figuratively, perhaps, after a celebration night. But, yeah, just 2 hits and a 5-0 loss last night to the Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks are a team that they're fighting for every win possible because they've not yet locked up a playoff berth. In fact, they're fighting to be a wild card team. They were a wild card team last year. If you remember, they came to Milwaukee. They beat the Brewers in that little wild card series at American Family Field, ending the Brewers' season. So the Brewers won in Arizona, winning that series last weekend, but they tend to struggle with the Diamondbacks for whatever reason.
What does this tell you in terms of postseason?
Nothing really. I don't think the trajectory of what the Brewers can do in the postseason changes. I think Pat Murphy has wanted to rest some players after locking up the division, which I think makes a lot of sense. And now you're talking about a 4-game deficit behind the Phillies and Dodgers with 7 games to play. To be one of those top 2 seeds and not have to play in that wild card series, the benefit of the wild card series is that all of those games would be played in Milwaukee. It's just a short 3-game series, but you don't have to travel anywhere. So that is the one benefit. It does lengthen your path to the World Series, which I guess is the negative, but you get those games at home.
So here's a question, and I'm just wondering if, because you know everybody. Greg, you know everybody in sports in this town. Has anybody reached out to Craig Counsell? And the reason I ask is, can you imagine how he must have felt when it was because the Cubs lost that the Brewers automatically went into postseason?
Yeah, kind of funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So it was on that Wednesday, right? So the Chicago Cubs played a day game. They played against the Oakland A's and ended up losing. And the A's are one of the worst teams in baseball, and the Cubs ended up dropping 2 of those 3 games. So before the Brewers even took the field on that Wednesday night against the Phillies, they had locked up the division. They knew they were going to be NL Central Division champs. And Counsell was asked about it after the game. And he said, look, we got a lot of room to make up here. Like, the Brewers are the class of the division. This is 2 years in a row. The gap is wide. So he had a very honest take, and I'm sure some Cubs fans were frustrated to hear it. Cubs played better baseball in September, but still nowhere near what the Brewers did collectively all season long.
But you know him, right? You know Craig?
Sure.
Yeah. How do you think he really feels at this point? Because he left Milwaukee on his own volition. He could have stayed here as long as he wanted. But to see the Brewers continue to win and the Cubs, not so much.
Yeah, I think Craig, if nothing else, he's a competitor. He wants to win, right? So whether he's managing in Milwaukee, managing in Chicago, he wants to win. And his team didn't win enough to be a postseason team. They were officially limited last night, but that was just a mathematical 1% chance that they had of being a playoff team. They are officially out. You're talking about a team that finished with, I guess, 7 games to play, barely above 500, hovering around 500. And when you have an expanded payroll and one of the best managers in baseball, the expectations are much higher. And the Brewers, if you haven't known it by now, are the best-run organization in the division. And that's clear. This is a golden era of Brewers baseball. You want to see them to make a bigger dent in the postseason. That's a hurdle they need to clear. But this is nothing new now, the Brewers winning the division.
It's an exciting time for baseball, especially in this city. Greg, we're so happy you're here this morning, because next time I'm going to ask you about the Packers and what your predictions are. Today, it is 8:19, 67 degrees. It is raining out there, and we're going to give you your full forecast right after this. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
When you did the impressions of Coach Alvarez, which I love doing on the radio with the state now.
See the world from his perspective.
When Barry would get really mad or very frustrated, his voice goes up 15 octaves.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
God dang it, come on, we got guys over at the towers not paying attention.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 46 to 48 ounce selected varieties Blue Bunny frozen dairy dessert, $3.99. 45 ounce tub Imperial margarine, $3.99. 12 count Ice Mountain spring water, 2 for $7. 21.5 to 28 ounce selected varieties Bush's best baked beans, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco on November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
We know that the people of Milwaukee are hard workers, that they're tough. But even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
It is raining this morning. We've got widespread showers, isolated storms. There's downpours possible. We're getting a lot of thunder and lightning even. We'll get up to about 72 degrees. And tonight that rain will finally begin to taper off. It'll clear up. And it's going to be breezy, down to 55. Tomorrow, definitely cooler. Under partly cloudy skies, 68 for a high. Tuesday, we've got another chance of some showers under mostly cloudy skies, 68 for a high. Wednesday, we get the sun back, and it'll be 72 degrees. We are getting a lot of rain around the area right now. In Port Washington at 67 degrees. Oak Creek, 68. You're getting some thunder and lightning. Same thing in Brookfield, where it's 68. And it is 68 degrees at 8:23 on WTMJ. It's time to check in with Teddy Nichol from the Milwaukee Business Journal. And boy, I think we're still having a lot of impact from that RNC, Teddy, that we had such great expectations for the last couple of years. But there's a new report from the host committee that says that there are some local businesses that got a lot more money from the convention from others. What did you learn?
Yeah, this is really the first kind of report we've seen since the convention that's really breaking down how much money the host committee raised, where they raised it from, and where it went. So the biggest local company that received money from the host committee was the Milwaukee Bucks, not surprisingly because they hosted the main convention at Fiserv Forum. So they received $5.8 million from the host committee. In total, the host committee raised almost $92 million, and 2/3 of that came from local donors. About 1/3 of that was spent locally, although some of the money that wasn't spent locally was actually kind of trickled down. So, for example, some of the main contractors was a New Jersey events production company. They were paid almost $15 million, but they hired a lot of local subcontractors. So some of that money actually did end up going locally. The same was true of a transportation company from Maryland that then hired local bus companies from Southeast Wisconsin. So really interesting to kind of see some of the breakdown. Aside from Deer District, the Wisconsin Center was paid about $4.5 million. Magic Productions, which is a Waukesha event company that hosted the welcome party at the Summerfest grounds, they brought in around $1.8 million. Saz's Catering, a local catering company, almost $1 million. A local law firm, Michael Best, they brought in almost $1 million in legal expenses from the host committee. Some apartments, like the Ascent Apartments, for example, in downtown Milwaukee, they got about $600,000 for hosting a lot of the RNC host committee staff in their apartments. So really a wide range of companies that saw a benefit, and it's really interesting to see the breakdown.
Do you think in reviewing that this will excite local businesses to reach out to try to get more events like the RNC?
Yeah, it's interesting. There was definitely some disappointment at first from some companies that felt like they didn't get as much impact as they were maybe promised or thought they would see. And I do think this kind of shows examples of the types of businesses that were able to benefit and, proves there was a lot of impact locally. So maybe just kind of give some, another side of the coin for, while not every company got the benefits that they were hoping for, others did. And so maybe, for future conventions, maybe data like this could be helpful for other businesses looking to get a piece of the action.
Do you like coffee? Are you a coffee drinker?
I do like coffee,
okay.
Yeah.
So do I. And our teammates, Jeff Sherman and Jasmine Snell, every weekday they give a little report on where they got coffee. But I think they're going to be excited to know that there's a new coffee shop coming to Red Arrow Park.
Exactly. And not only a new coffee shop, but a new coffee brand that Milwaukee really hasn't seen yet. So Big B Coffee is the franchisee that's opening in the vacant cafe space in Red Arrow Park. People know this. It's near the Marcus Center and the St. Kate, that little park that has the ice skating rink. It used to be a Starbucks there. Starbucks left last year, and the county, which actually owns that park, chose Big B to be the new coffee operator. So they are already under construction on kind of transforming that cafe space to kind of fit the Big B brand. And they are hoping to open this November around Thanksgiving, just in time for the ice skating season. Actually, interestingly, Milwaukee Bucks recently started a small business program to kind of help support local small businesses. The franchisees of Big B Coffee are local Milwaukee entrepreneurs, and they're part of a new Bucks small business program that's going to be kind of helping promote this coffee shop within Fiserv Forum and through other opportunities with the Bucks. So that's an interesting aspect to this as well.
Coffee tastes different depending on where you get. Have you tried any of theirs yet?
I haven't. I mean, maybe once in another city because they have locations in other states. They're in 13 different states. They do have other locations in Wisconsin, but they're in Franklin, and then they're opening one in Cudahy next year. So I have not been to one. Have you?
No, I haven't. That's why I was curious how their coffee differs from some of the others. But we'll find out soon enough.
We'll find out soon, yeah.
Teddy, not a week goes by that we don't talk about new apartments. Mm-hmm. And this week is not going to be any different because Spring Mall in Greenfield, it's turning into apartments when it used to be a shopping center. This is a real trend, isn't it?
Yeah, I have to say I cover real estate and apartments, so that's part of why you hear a lot about this from me. But you're not wrong. It's a trend. It's happening a lot because there really is a shortage of housing. And just with retail trends changing, a lot of suburban shopping centers are not doing as well. Like Spring Mall in Greenfield, which we're talking about today, is mostly vacant. So there's a lot of efforts to redevelop these vacant shopping malls with apartments, kind of like Bayshore and Glendale, kind of reinvigorate them. So anyway, with Greenfield, Spring Mall, Mandel Group, which is a major apartment developer, they're planning 257 apartments. It's an interesting layout where it's going to be a lot of green space in the middle with a pool, a clubhouse. And so they are looking to purchase the land from the city of Greenfield. The city actually owns this shopping center that they purchased in order to help redevelop it. And construction could start next year. But if we have any fans of Meyer Restaurant, which is the one commercial business that's still operating in that shopping center, Meyer Family Restaurant, don't worry, that plans to stay. So it'll be the apartments plus that restaurant, and that will continue to operate.
Well, I'm sure the residents will appreciate that because it's always convenient to have a place nearby, isn't it?
Right.
All right. Well, finally, talking about things that are being changed and converting, the owners of a major downtown Milwaukee office building, they're looking at plans to convert it. Well, what's on the table?
Yeah, so everyone, I think, knows the BMO Tower, that beautiful new glass tower in downtown Milwaukee near City Hall. This is right next to that, right south. And actually, the developers who built BMO had to buy this old office tower as part of the deal. And so they've owned it since they kind of worked on that new BMO tower. And now they're trying to figure out what to do with it. They've been trying, and they're continuing to try. It was up for sale. This is Ergens, which is another local real estate company. It was up for sale. They are still exploring selling it. They're also exploring redeveloping it. And they're kind of thinking of more of a mixed-use potentially option for this. So there could be some apartments, there could be some offices. They're also looking at hospitality, potentially retail. So they said, office, all of those options are still on the table. Interestingly, though, this is right near the 100 East building, which is also an office building that's going to be converted fully into apartments. So again, this is another trend. We just talked about kind of suburban shopping centers being converted into apartments, and it's also a national trend for downtown offices that aren't being used as much to also be converted either into apartments or other uses. So that's kind of the next one. This is the former M&I building, as it's known, on North Water Street. So we'll be watching that one as well.
Well, I know you will stay on top of it and you'll keep us informed. Teddy Nichol from the Milwaukee Business Journal. It is great to have you here.
Great to talk to you, Livy. Thank you.
You're busy. Work, family, life. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you'll do about things like retirement planning, selling a business, investing, or building your legacy. So your buddy hooks you up with his guy. Seems fine, but when it gets down to advice, you're all of a sudden knee-deep in products packed with commissions. You start to wonder, are you getting advice or are you getting a sales pitch? Annex Wealth Management is a fee-only fiduciary. No commission products, just advice. And clear thinking when it comes to your investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Annex believes financial planning is for everyone. Annex Comprehensive Wealth is a great fit for most. For those with high net worth and complex planning challenges, consider Annex Private Client. For those just starting out, Annex Ignite is a great choice. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes. Set your own appointment at a time convenient for you. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at kesslersdiamonds.com.
Well, it's a rainy Sunday morning, and let's go to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Greg Batzek at 8:32.
Thanks, so Libby. Yeah, it's coming down here. It hasn't come down for a little while. Had a couple of sprinkles last night. It's turned out to be an event here today as the rain continues to fall. It's going to hang out here until likely into the late afternoon hours here. So some claps of thunder, a little bit of lightning, some occasional downpours. Going to be a wet Sunday here in southeastern Wisconsin. Meanwhile, Milwaukee police are investigating a fatal pedestrian crash that occurred late Saturday near midnight at the 7300 block of North 76th Street. A 20-year-old and 23-year-old were on foot crossing the street when they were struck by a vehicle traveling northbound, causing a fatal injury. The other victim conveyed to a local hospital for non-fatal injuries. A 34-year-old driver is in custody. Police also investigating a shooting that occurred at approximately 1 a.m. on that very same block. The union representing aerospace engineers at Boeing reject a request from the company to furlough workers during a strike of 33,000 machinists. Aviation experts estimate the work stoppage is costing Boeing roughly $100 million per day. Madison Metro Transit launches its first ever bus rapid transit route. Rapid Route A will debut today, running east to west from the Sun Prairie Park and Ride to Junction Roads, operating every 30 minutes. And it looks like Malik Willis will start for the Packers at quarterback today. Sean Clifford elevated from the practice squad to the active roster. Quarterback Jordan Love able to practice in limited fashion throughout the course of the week. Head coach Matt LaFleur said they would give him up to game time. Inactives will be released about 10:30. Taking a look at your roads here, WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Update. It's not a volume issue, it's more of an issue of weather. Rain coming down, some puddling on the sides of the highway. Just be mindful of that if you're traveling through. Control your speed. Make sure you got the lights on as well. It's still pretty dark out this morning. Normal travel times, normal construction delays, cost you about 2 minutes if you're going 43 southbound from Brown Deer to downtown. Volume, low, but keep the lights on. Make sure you're cautious driving through the wet weather.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Rain hangs out for the bulk of the afternoon here today with a high of 71 degrees. Monday, slight chance of rain with a high of 68. Tuesday, slight chance of showers, otherwise partly cloudy and a high of 68. Right now it's 67 degrees and wet in Milwaukee at 8:35.
In just 2 minutes, we're going to talk the new iPhone right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
When you come to our showroom, you'll find more than a dozen glass shower door displays. Now that's what you're going to want to see, because browsing a bunch of options usually spurs ideas that you never even thought of. And when you walk around with one of our glass shower door experts, you can ask questions and get assurance. We're here to help. And after nearly 50 years in the glass shower door business, there's not a whole lot we haven't seen. So don't worry, your project's about to be put in the very best of hands. At Les's Glass Service, you can count on our experience that makes it easy to promise top-flight installation. Glass shower doors are our specialty, and we're out there humping it every day to add to our portfolio to make the next project even better than the last. This is Stacy Sinks. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
It's a short show today. I'm Libby Collins on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News, 8:38. Do you have your phone yet? Last week, Apple held its highly anticipated special product launch event. Customers can purchase the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Pro lineups, and we are joined by Apple's Will True. You're out there in Apple Park in Cupertino, California. Will, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I know a lot of consumers are very excited. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the iPhone 16 and what are some of your favorite features?
Absolutely, yes. The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus introduced incredible new camera capabilities, the action button for quick access to useful features, and they debuted the new A18 chip, which is a huge leap in performance and efficiency.
So, Will, what is the difference between the 16 Pro and the 16 Pro Max?
The big difference there is size. So we have some new display sizes, a 6.3-inch on the 16 Pro, and then a 6.9-inch display on the 16 Pro Max. But it's the same features across both this year because we brought that great 5X telephoto to the 16 Pro. So really, the choice is about, what size phone you want.
There were some consumers that were concerned about overheating with the iPhone 15. Is that going to be a problem with the 16?
We have new internal designs that are great for making sure that it can dissipate heat and do all the kind of things it needs to do while making sure you have a great performance. We're really excited to deliver this great, powerful experience to customers.
Okay, can you explain Apple Intelligence?
Yeah, absolutely. So Apple Intelligence is a great new capability, which the iPhone 16 lineup is built for. And so Apple Intelligence harnesses the power of our Apple Design generative models, and it draws on your personal context. So it can help you write, it can help you express yourself, it can help you get things done quickly. And this is with features like writing tools, which can rewrite or proofread or summarize your text. You can get quick summaries of your notifications or even summaries of your email. So it's about bringing the right information to you at the right time with the personal context and understanding of what your iPhone is able to do. But again, built with that privacy and security from the ground up.
And you mentioned privacy and security. How does that differ with this particular model as to previous ones?
But what's really unique about Apple Intelligence is it's designed to maintain the privacy as you're making requests or as you're interacting with Siri. It's handling these requests on device wherever possible. And if it does need to access our cloud compute, we have a private cloud compute, which is a system that means that we can maintain that security and privacy of your data even if the request is going to the server. Even Apple can't understand the context of what you're requesting, and so we don't have access to your user data. So it's handled in an intelligent, secure, and encrypted way.
We're talking with Apple's Will True. He's right there in Apple Park in Cupertino, California. You know, it seems, Will, when a consumer becomes an Apple user, they don't want to use another device. Why is that?
Well, we work really hard to make the Apple experience simple, intuitive, easy to use. We work really hard to make sure that our hardware and software is integrated to be able to deliver these great experiences that makes your life better or help you create or stay in touch with loved ones. So it's really about empowering the people that use Apple products to do more. And so we're really excited to be able to take this even further with the new lineup of iPhone 16.
Now, obviously, the 16, one of the big selling points is the AI, the Apple Intelligence. We've come so far just in the last couple years with AI. What do you think the future is going to be like?
Well, I'm excited to find out, and we're really excited to see what people can do with these new features and these new capabilities. So we're just excited to keep building upon the intelligence that we've had built into the iPhone system for years. You know, we've had the Apple Neural Engine now, I think, for many years, and so this is taking this the next step. We're really excited about this next chapter with Apple Intelligence and can't wait to see what people do with their new iPhone.
And that's Will True from Apple. I'm Libby Collins, and coming up in just a minute, we're going to talk about they're out to get you again. And it's all on PayPal. Oh, wait till you hear this.
Save big money on everything for your painting and staining projects now at Menards. Add beautiful color to your projects with Minwax water-based wood stain. This penetrating stain delivers color that showcases wood grain in one single coat and dries in 1 hour. Don't forget to check out Minwax's Color of the Year for 2025, Violet. In-store and online at Menards.com. Plus, view the weekly flyer for many more great deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you looking to downsize your home? Does the thought of moving out of your lifelong home with cherished memories overwhelm you? Hi, this is Jean Nemelvitz from Bruce's team. As you transition into the next stage of your life, our team is ready to take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. To start the process of downsizing and moving to the lifestyle you deserve, call us at 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. In fact, they were named the #1 midsize employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Universal Windows Direct. Football season is here. You know what that means. Fall is just around the corner with cooler temperatures on the way. Time to make sure your home is ready. If you've been dealing with drafty windows all summer, now is the perfect time to upgrade with Universal Windows Direct before the cold weather hits. Call 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. For every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free. Plus, if you need it, 0% financing for 60 months for the last windows you will ever need. Go to UWD.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I know you've been getting a lot of complaints at DATCAP, Michelle Reinen, our consumer expert, about fake PayPal invoices. Tell us what we need to know.
Yeah, consumers are describing having received invoices and money requests through PayPal from people they did not recognize about purchases they didn't make. In these scams, the requester sometimes included a note that they hope will pressure you into sending money right away. And in other cases, scammers are sending you an invoice designed to look like a legitimate message from PayPal saying you recently purchased cryptocurrency, telecom services, or some other product. And occasionally, a fake customer service phone number is provided. And if called, you are connected to the scammer.
So what do you need to do? How can you tell if it's legit or not?
Well, we want people to be mindful that this scam is out there, and if you receive suspicious or unexpected invoices or money requests, don't pay. If you suspect it may be legitimate, check your own records. See if you made any purchases that match the description. Never open any links or use any contact information provided as part of these requests. Instead, only use information found on PayPal's official website. That means you need to log in the way you normally would, not clicking those links. Verify whether a questionable message was truly sent by PayPal by contacting the company's help center, also found on the official website.
And if you need more information about whether or not a PayPal request is legitimate, who should you call?
Call DADCAP's Consumer Protection Hotline at 1-800-422-7128.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
Well, all right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
We have Greg Matzik here, and what's going to happen with the Packers today? Is it another win on the for us?
Well, I hope so here. So let's start first with the quarterback situation, because we all want to know, is Jordan Love going to play? He practiced throughout the week. He was limited throughout the week, according to head coach Matt LaFleur, and listed as questionable for today's game on Friday's injury report. Then late last night, I get an email from the Packers saying, we've elevated Sean Clifford from the practice squad to the active roster. That tells me Malik Willis will start at quarterback, because they typically only have 2 quarterbacks available on game day. The third is remaining on the practice squad, not on the active roster. So the fact that they brought that third quarterback to the active roster tells me that Jordan Love will not play today. And I kind of always felt like it was going to be a long shot. Now, here's the really interesting storyline. Malik Willis was traded to the Packers August 26th, so a little less than a month ago. And the team that gave up on him after drafting him in the 3rd round just a few years ago were the Tennessee Titans, the team the Packers are playing today in Nashville. Another storyline to watch here, weather. It's going to be upwards of 90 degrees in Nashville, hot day. There is some rain in the forecast, potential for some storms as well. So it could be a very interesting day on the field at Nashville at Nissan Stadium.
And we'll have more on Packers game day, or on Green Bay game day, coming up at 9 o'clock here on WTMJ.
Miss any of the truth on WTMJ?
I'm representing the bull.
Maybe there's something wrong with me.
Catch the podcast wherever you get your podcasts and catch up on moments like this.
John, if you wanted to come on the show, all you had to do, you didn't have to make Biden quit to come on the show.
And listen to the truth on WTMJ every Sunday from 7 until 9 with Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas, right here on 620 WTMJ.
So if you're selling a $2 million home and you found yourself what you thought was a pretty good deal on your real estate commission at, say, about 3.6%, you'd pay $72,000 in real estate commission. Not bad, right? Well, your Benefit Realty agent will charge you no more than $19,000 no matter what size property you're selling for the listing side of your sale. And it all comes with the full service you'd expect from an experienced real estate brokerage. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. Now, I say this because that's a pretty big number, but I also bring it up because it's always been cool for us to save our clients money. It's not about being the top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission with a cap on our commission for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to Sunday Sip. This is Steve Scavini. I am joined today by two really smart guys. We're going to talk about a lot of great things, but one of the things we're going to talk about is Milwaukee College Prep, Al Keith IV joining us, and Celestin Morgan, who is Executive Director of the City Forward Collective, talking about education and our kids, which I am very passionate about. I'm going to start with you, Celestin. Can you explain what the opportunity gap is? I hear this term a lot and how it affects students in Milwaukee, particularly in the underserved communities.
Yeah, so when we talk about opportunity gaps, we're talking about the disparities in outcomes for students, in particular students of color, when compared to their peers. And here in Milwaukee, we struggle with one of the largest opportunity gaps of any city in the country. We've got work to do to ensure that all of our kids, but especially our kids who are Black or Hispanic or from lower income backgrounds, have access to the education they need.
So one of the ways you're addressing that is with charter schools in Milwaukee. And I'll start with you, Al.
Yeah.
How do you address that opportunity gap? Give me some specific examples.
Yeah, and so just speaking of the opportunity gap, we talk about what access and what opportunities are presented to our kids. And so it's very well known the power of literacy. So at Milwaukee College Prep, we focus a lot of dedication, time, energy on literacy, focus on early literacy for our younger scholars, make sure they're learning how to not only access the content in front of them, but have opportunity to have that upward mobility through society as well.
Celestin, what do you think? The opportunity gap, how do we address that?
So one of the great things about our city's education system is that parents have lots of choices. They've got choices of different types of schools, including public charter schools like Milwaukee College Prep. We think it's really important because we know every child is different and every child needs something different. And so the work that schools like MCP do to ensure that every kid is getting exactly what they need, the skills and supports that they need, is incredibly important.
Celestin Morgan Jr. and Al Keith IV joining us on the Sunday Sip. This was for you, Al. Yeah. How are charter schools supporting those students who may be behind grade level, facing some struggles, facing significant academic challenges? How are you approaching that problem?
Targeted supports. We make sure that we take a look at how do we support not just a grade level or just a classroom, but how do we make sure that we support every single child in that classroom? And so some of that means wrapping around targeted interventions, targeted mentoring, tutoring. And so we really look at the whole child and look at what is it they need to be successful, and we provide that.
Celestin, what do you think? Same question.
You know, I think, again, you know, the work that Al is doing, the work that MCP and other schools across our city are doing is incredibly important, you know, to make sure that every child, we're looking at their individual strengths, their individual assets, and their individual challenges, and making sure they get exactly the targeted supports that they need.
We hear this term a lot, equity, right? Access to education, so important. We got to make sure that we're reaching all the kids, not some of the kids, not the kids who really want to be there, but some of the kids who maybe are struggling. When you're looking at that question of equity, Al, how do the charter schools in Milwaukee ensure that equity is there for enrollment, services for everybody?
Absolutely. And so, you know, the biggest tagline that I can give you right now is free, public, and open to all. Milwaukee College Prep has a completely blind and open enrollment process. It's first come, first serve. We don't screen, we don't test. And many of the high-quality schools in the city, charter schools, follow the same process as well.
Colestin, I love the fact that one of your missions is to improve education in Milwaukee, in the Milwaukee area. So how do you measure that success? You're looking at charter schools, narrowing that opportunity gap. Are there any success stories or things you can point to that say, you know what, that's how it should be done?
Yeah, so, we certainly start by looking at the facts and the data, right? All of our students, whatever school they attend, if they're receiving public dollars, they have to take assessments at the end of the year that help us understand how students are performing. And we see year after year that students that are enrolling in our schools of choice, including our public charter schools like Milwaukee College Prep, are performing at higher and higher levels, closing those opportunity gaps. There's certainly more work to be done, but we try to start with the data and the facts. And we know that when parents have those choices, they're empowered to make those choices. When schools can make the decisions that are best for their kids, that's where we see the biggest growth happening.
What do you hear from parents? What are they saying?
They love it. I get calls, I get emails, I get stopped out in public all the time by parents just can't stop raving about all that we've done for their kids, their families, and how do we expand that outreach, beyond what we're currently serving.
And the polling and the research here matches up with the stories that Al is telling. We know that parents in our city overwhelmingly, I think 60% in a poll we put out this summer, support, actually 60% is the Marquette Law poll, but we find similar numbers as well, support having a robust set of options so that they can find the right fit for their kids, including schools like Milwaukee College Prep.
And as we all know, having that parent support, that parent buy-in, along with the students, along with their children, makes this process a lot easier. So we're looking at all those groups, parents, community leaders, local businesses. What do they do to support the impact of charter schools in bridging that opportunity gap?
So I like to use my development and fundraising chief term of time, treasure, and talent. So we partner with the community to come in and obviously see what we do, come be a part of what we do. We bring in the community, we bring in local businesses, we bring in families to not only see what we do, but also partner with them to figure out how do we better serve the community, how do we better serve our kids.
Absolutely. I think, seeing, being invested, taking the time to love our kids enough to love the schools and the adults in the building that are serving them is incredibly important, as is making sure that all of our schools have the resources that they need to succeed. And that's something that we in our advocacy work do every day.
And I wanted to save a minute to talk about this because it's not just about talking about it, it's action plans are important. So how can our listeners help Milwaukee College Prep? Obviously, the director of City Forward Collective, improving education in our community. Al, you go first.
The most immediate step is log onto our website, go to mkeprep.com/support, and check out our Take a Stand event information there. And so every year we have an annual fundraiser. That's a lot of fun. It's a really good time to celebrate, obviously, the amazing work that our team at MCP does. But it's a great opportunity to ground our community in the importance of the work and the resources we need.
Likewise, you can find information about City Forward Collective on our website, cityforwardcollective.org. Take a look at some of our policy research. We try to lift up good examples of schools like Milwaukee College Prep. You can find some data and information and ways to support us financially as well there.
Colestin Morgan Jr., Al Keith IV, soon to be a fifth on the way, I hear.
That's right. That's right.
Good luck with all of that. Great conversation, great work, leading hopefully to great educational opportunities for all of the kids out there. Thanks for joining the Sunday Sip.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It is going to be a rainy day today, even some downpours and thunder and lightning. Our high temperature is only going to get up to 72 degrees. So keep that in mind as you're making your plans today. The Brewers get underway with our coverage at noon today. And coming up next, it's Green Bay Game Day right here on WTMJ. It's 8:58.
You're busy. Work, family, life. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you'll do about things like retirement planning, selling a business, investing, or